Hi, thank you for joining and welcome to our virtual tour of SAIC's residence halls. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Casey Filson. I'm the Assistant Director of On-Campus Admissions here at SAIC. And today your tour of the residence halls will be done by one of our current students, Anavi, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Anavi. I'm a third year at SAIC, and I'm also a resident advisor. I'm a resident advisor in Jones Hall, and I've been an RA for 2 years, and then I primarily study designed objects.
Awesome, thanks Anavi. So we're gonna jump right into your tour of the residence halls and I will let Anavi take it away.
Okay, so I'm just sharing my screen. Um, Sorry, okay. So I'm mostly going to be using this tour guide, but I'm also going to switch over for one of our buildings into a slideshow just for a couple of other images. So we're going to start here in front of Jones Hall, which is one of 3 of our resident halls on campus. Jones Hall is the smallest resident hall that we have, and it houses about 200 students. So it's this brown building right above Zoomies. So this is the entrance to Jones Hall. In this building, we primarily have single rooms and double rooms, and then we have communal spaces on the 3rd floor as well as the 15th floor. This is our beautiful lobby. So we're just going to look at a couple of the communal spaces on the 15th floor. So we have this kitchen space up here. So each of our rooms do come equipped with a functioning kitchenette. So that means you have a stovetop, microwave, as well as a refrigerator. And we're gonna have a look at that in a bit as well. But the one thing we don't have is ovens. So that's something we have in our communal kitchens. And this is just because of fire safety laws in Chicago. So if you are really into baking, you're always free to kind of come up to the 15th floor and use this space up here. Another thing that we have on the 15th floor is a media center. This is just a hangout kind of lounge space for students to use. We have a lot of programming that happens up here by RAs. There is an RA on every floor. So they'll do like movie nights, game nights. And if no program is going on, you're free to kind of come up here and just use the space however you please. So whether you're doing homework or watching your own stuff, completely up to you. On the 15th floor, we also have a studio space. And that's just so that if you are using any kind of like oil paints and stuff, you shouldn't be making your own room stuff. You're free to come up and kind of use that space. If you wanted to lay out a big project, you're free to use our studio space as well. Next, we're going to see a room in Jones Hall. So this is what a double room looks like. And again, as I mentioned, we have singles and doubles in this building. So generally, we have a floor bed as well as a loft bed. This specific room has 2 floor beds. And then, as I mentioned, it comes equipped with a kitchenette, and you're free to kind of bring in your own coffee maker, toaster, stuff like that. We also have maintenance in the building. So if anything ever broke or went wrong, you're free to kind of put in a work order, and somebody will come in and fix it. Yeah, and then, so I'm just gonna get out of this. Next, we're gonna walk over, oops, sorry, I went backwards. We're gonna walk over to 162, which is our largest resident hall. So it's just about 2.5, 3 blocks away from Jones. And it's right above this Old Navy over here. One really cool thing about it is that it's in the theater district. So right behind it and around it, there are a lot of different theaters that you can go to. And a lot of them have like really great student discounts, which you can use. And then right next to it, we have the Gene Siskel Film Center, which is, so it started out by SAIC and kind of grew into becoming this huge independent movie theater. So they have a lot of different film festivals that happen here, and then SAIC students get discounted tickets. We also have art history classes that happen here. And students also get the opportunity to show their own work in this theater and kind of get professional experience through that. And then we also have a student programming board on campus who hosts different events. So they have movie nights in here as well. So just a few weeks ago, we showed Parasite in here. And we're just gonna quickly look through it. So that's the inside of it. And then next we have 162. So as I mentioned, this is our largest resident hall. We house about 500 to 600 students in here. We're going to start up on the 17th floor where we have most of our communal spaces. So this is just a huge kind of hangout space. We have this fun ping pong table. We also have a foosball table. And students are free to kind of just come up here whenever they want and hang out. It is 24/7 access. So whether you're writing an essay or playing cards or just kind of chilling up here, it's completely up to you. We also have programming that happens up here. RAs have, Residence Life hosts this thing called a roommate swap fair, which, yes, it kind of sounds funny, but it's essentially speed dating to find yourself a new roommate. So we all kind of have roommate issues at some point or the other. And what it does is kind of creates this really fun way of finding a new roommate. It happens 2 weeks into the semester. Um, and you can kind of just come up here, meet new people, and find somebody new to live with. And then right here, where you see the exit sign, that's our studio space. So this is the largest studio space that we have in our resident halls. What's good to note is also if you live in any of the resident halls, you have access to the other resident halls. So if you lived in Jones and wanted to come and use these spaces, you're free to do so. The studio space is also open 24/7, and you can kind of come up and work whenever you want. There are storage racks in the entrance point here. So if you use the space a lot and just kind of want to store your materials up here, they work on a first come, first serve basis. So you can come up and use them as well. And then in this corner over here, we have a downdraft table. So if you were working with any kind of sanding or wood-based projects, we urge students to come up here and use this space just so that you're not, there's like a suction table, so like gonna take in all the sanded materials and makes it safe to use as well. And then next, we're gonna have a look at, oh, sorry, backtrack. Also through these doors over here, where the yellow light is coming from, there is a dry studio space as well. So that's slightly smaller than the studio space we see right now, and it's specifically for any sort of dry materials that you're using. So if you primarily work with color pencils or with fabric, and you don't want to accidentally get paint on your materials, then you're free to use that space instead. And then in the middle, there's also sinks. So if you just needed to wash something, and then we also have a, oops, I'm sorry, it's called a spray booth. Yes, we have a spray booth in every building, and this is just in case you're using any kind of adhesives, just so you're not kind of like spreading toxic stuff in the air. It's fully ventilated, and that's kind of where you would go to spray anything. Yep. And then next we're gonna see a room. So this is a standard double room in 162. So they generally come equipped with a floor bed, and then there's a loft space in here. So if you see this gray line over here, that's actually a ladder that leads up to a loft bed. So each double room comes with a floor and loft bed, and you're not gonna like, surprise, here you're gonna be in this one. It's not first come, first serve. You are signing up to be in either one when you're signing up for housing. So you do get to see it before you pick it. And then once you come in, if you genuinely find that you'd rather be in the other, you're able to talk to your roommate as well as your RAs, and they can kind of work through that situation. And then, so the room comes equipped with the bed frame, the mattress, the tables, the chairs, and the wardrobe spaces. We also have microwaves and refrigerators in here in this kitchen. And then anything additional that you want to bring in, you're able to bring, just as long as it meets fire safety requirements. You cannot bring in a oven or a pressure cooker, but if you wanted to bring in a coffee maker, if you wanted to bring in a couch, as long as it fits in the elevator, you're able to do that as well. And then, so this building also has triples. So those are generally 8 feet wider, 8 feet longer, and will have an additional bed on the floor, a floor bed. And then they'll also bring in an additional armoire, as well as a drawer set for the third person to put their stuff in. And then another really cool thing about our dorms is that you are, at any time, you're only kind of like deciding how your room is functioning with your 2 roommates. So if you want your room to be really cold, you do have a temperature set, question mark, setting thing here. So you're setting the temperature of your room all on your own, and kind of deciding that with your roommates. And then There's also a bathroom right next to the door over here. So you're only sharing with a maximum of 2 other people. And then I'm also gonna quickly show you the Buckingham, which is our 3rd resident hall. So that's about 3 blocks to the left of Jones. 162 is about 3 blocks to the right of Jones. So this is the Buckingham. We don't entirely own the Buckingham. We rent floors on here instead. And so this is slightly differently styled. So it's more of a suite as opposed to a studio apartment. And we have individual rooms in here. So the living room kind of looks like this, where you have a shared kitchen as well as kind of a couch, and there's a TV as well. And then the rooms look like this. So you can be sharing with one other person, or you'll be in a single. Apartments tend to have between 2 to 5 people. Yeah, so back to here, and that's about it for the resident halls. And then a final picture of Chicago. You see?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Anavi. So I'm just going to take control back of the screen, if you'll bear with me. I just wanted to take a moment to thank you so much for joining us on our tour. Thank you so much to Anavi for showing us all 3 of our residence halls here at SAIC. If you do have additional questions for us, you can always reach us at 312-629-6100. That's the main office, the main number for the admissions office. You can also reach us via email at any time at ugadmis@saic.edu. And then, of course, if you'd like to learn more information about the school itself or about the admissions process, you can always visit our website at saic.edu. Thank you so much again for joining our virtual tour of the residence halls, and have a wonderful day.